Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to the Fascast, your weekly podcast, everything football, fantasy, predictions, bets, news. You name it, we got it all. We're going Thursday morning every single week, 8 a.m. I am joined here today with the Fast Brothers. Let's get right into the podcast. Let's talk football, guys. Week 2 is finished underway heading into week 3. How are you guys feeling? How the games end up for you?
Oh my God. It's been 2 weeks and I'm already basically geriatric at this point. I've had so
That
many
week
gray
sucked.
hairs, gray hairs sprouting all over my noggin, and it's
For Caleb, he had a rough,
Yeah,
rough
dude,
week 2
it was
pick'ems.
rough. I was trying, weasel my way, do some funky picks, but little did I know that the funkiness got me. Okay,
yeah. But he's the
I
one that
mean
won.
everything.
He's the one that won the fantasy league, yeah, so he's the guy to go to, right? Oh brother, you're cooked.
Yeah,
I
Anyway,
hate
I
you
ended
all.
up beating brother
I hate
Caleb
you all.
by like 2 points at the end. Who did I have in? Oh, Nico Collins. He needed like a reception for me to win, and he got it the end of start of the fourth there. But
I
yeah,
hate you all.
really, really weird week. A lot of teams winning unexpectedly. I didn't see it. It was just kind of an off week, so understandably so. Caleb taking a hit on the pickums last week, but redemption week 3. We'll
Yeah,
call it redemption week. That's going to be the
this is
title.
my week to come back. You guys are gonna. I got a perfect slate waiting for you guys. You had no idea.
I
Hopefully, we have a lot of whoopsie daisies piled up. Let's get right into the pickums. We're going to start Thursday night football with a divisional game. New England Patriots going to New York. We're playing against the Jets. We'll go in order here. So, oldest to youngest. I am going with simply enough the Jets. I'm taking the spread -6. I think the Patriots had their good couple weeks beginning of the season, hurrah, and I feel like they're going to get back into their identity and start going back down to what our expectations were before the year, and they're going to be the team that, as I predicted in the beginning, only had 5 wins on the year. I think that's what they start slipping to. They had a great, great start, and I think the Jets are going to pull it together here and win by a touchdown.
That's a good prediction. I really do like that prediction. But for my first whoopsie daisy
Oh
You're
my
of the
god.
week,
starting game 1?
my first whoopsie, I told you, I in the group chat, I texted you and said you guys have no idea. My first whoopsie daisy of the week is gonna be the New England Patriots spread. It's gonna be +6. I think it's gonna be a very close game. I think.
Well, with a whoopsie
And
daisy, you got to have them winning. That's what a whoopsie daisy is.
Well, the whoopsie daisy is the spread, right? So they're clearing +6 for sure. And I think, right? Hear me out. I think I think they're going to be able to shut down the run game huge against the Jets. I know Brees Hall's a monster. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're going to do enough on the ground to be able to win this game against the Jets.
Oh my
So for
god.
my first whoopsie daisy,
Duh,
I'm
I know you hit
the
2 out of 2
right.
last week. Are you like, is this like a I'm getting carried away kind of thing? Or.
No, dude,
Yeah.
listen. We saw that in week 2. Anything that can happen, literally anything can happen. Anything can happen. Uh, I am taking the Patriots winning this game, but for the sake of money that I am not winning, granted, because I put parlays and that's just not smart. I'm taking the Patriots +6.
Wow. Caleb, what do you
Yeah,
think?
pretty interesting. I do think it is going to be a close game. Now, I don't know if with all the whole shutting down the run game. I mean, Brees Hall is kind of a monster. I do think it is going to be a close game. So I don't think the Jets will win by a touchdown. So I will take the New England Patriots spread here, and
Oh,
You gotta be
Oh my
kidding
God,
me.
the Patriots!
are we serious?
Oh
Oh
my
my.
God!
Are we?
Oh my God! What happened,
You
Patriot?
gotta,
Oh my God! The
you gotta
Jets
be
not looking
kidding
great
me.
at all.
Are we
I think
serious?
Brees. Oh yeah, I'm serious, baby. I think the Patriots win this game. I honestly, looking at the first couple weeks, I don't see the hype around the Jets at all. The Patriots, I mean, they're not great either, but I just think these are two fairly evenly matched teams from what I've been seeing. And I think the Patriots just kind of have a better overall team. I think Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked that great. Obviously, they got Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall, who those are the X factors here in this game. Let's be real. So if they can come online, then maybe the Jets will win. But I think the Patriots just shut them down. I think this will be a close game, but I'm taking the Patriots spread here. Patriots win this game too.
Unbelievable. Can't believe it. Whoopsie daisies,
Brother, I love
Thursday
you.
night football right back to back. That's insane. By the way, for those of you guys that listen and don't see the graphic on YouTube, I have the betting records up there. So in total, I have a 1 game lead, 18 wins, and then next is 17 with Brandon, 15 with Caleb, just for you those that have this in the background while you listen. But I'll post those at the top so you can see our overall record for the whole year, just as a recap there. But going into second game, starting off Sunday football, 1 o'clock. We'll go to our game 2, which is in Tampa. Broncos bringing it to Tampa. It's minus 6.5 for Bucks as a favorites. And for me, they have been playing lights out. They had the whoopsie daisy last week that we all called the game for against the Lions. Baker looking great, team looking great. The defense was actually the star piece of winning that game. And I believe they keep the bus rolling. I have them minus 6.5, also winning by a touchdown or more. Already struggling Broncos defense or offense. Can't put points on the board. I feel like they cover this in Tampa at home. Bucks minus 6.5.
Quite simply, I have the same thing. I have Bucks minus 6.5. I mean, what else can I say? I'm gonna let Caleb do the rest of this. But the Bucks look good. The Broncos do not. Bo Nix cannot find what he needs to find yet. Obviously, it's hard for a rookie, nonetheless, a rookie that's COVID red shirt, I guess you'd call him. He's older. He's supposed to be in the league by now, and he hasn't got the experience that basically any other quarterback in the entire NFL history has gotten. He's already behind the curve in age. He got messed up with the whole not playing for a whole year because of COVID. I don't mind what I see from him, but I just don't think he has the juice yet. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's very tough playing on Denver to be able to construct that pretty quick. So I'm taking Tampa at home minus 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep this nice and short here. Tampa Bay is a Super Bowl contender. The Broncos are kind of the last of my teams that I got for my power rankings. They're just not great. I mean, Baker Mayfield is, he's going to be the MVP of this league by the end of the year. So, yeah, I think Tampa wins this very easily. Go with this minus 6.5 spread here for Tampa.
Beautiful, beautiful. Heading on to the next. We're going to Cleveland. Giants taking on the Browns. And same thing here. We're at a 6 spread. Browns being the favorites at home. I am actually taking the favorites this game. And Giants are just one of those teams that you don't have a lot of trust in. Although Malik Neighbors is looking fantastic. If he had anyone else throwing the ball or offensive line or pretty much anything on that offense, that would be a star show and a good solid team. But since none of those factors are on the Giants right now, can't really trust them to do anything, put points up. I don't even know if their kicker's coming back this week. They might not even be able to kick field goals again. Plus, the Browns' defense is pretty stout and solid. Taking the Browns minus 6.
Yeah, quite simply, same thing. Cleveland Browns minus 6. There's nothing really to talk about here. Like you said, Malik Neighbors is pretty much the only thing. I don't see the Giants doing anything this entire year. So quite simply, especially at home in Cleveland. Cleveland is looking for a big win against a pretty bad team, so the crowd is going to be pretty rowdy, going to rally behind their boys, and I think it's going to be an easy win for Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't think Cleveland even needs to bring out their offense. I think Daniel Jones will do quite enough to give
Good old
Cleveland
Daniel
some
Jones.
points. Daniel Jones, baby. Yeah, so I mean, just keep the offense out. Let's have Deshaun Watson go get a massage during this game, and I still think the Browns come out on top. I'll take the -6 spread for him.
Beautiful, beautiful. Going to New Orleans. My gosh, talk about a red hot team. A crazy stat line from New Orleans is, I don't know, the talk of the town, Derek Carr. Pretty much every possession, I think every possession has ended up in a score, whether that be points, field goals on the board, or touchdowns. He's red hot right now. Offense over 40 points both weeks in a row. Don't want to talk about who they did it to last week, but they're facing the Eagles this week. And for me, in my opinion, I don't see the Eagles' defense really shaping to. I think it's going to be a really similar, maybe not as bad as a beatdown from the Cowboys, but I think the Saints keep it rolling. They're looking really strong. I don't see any interruptions in that offense. I think I have them actually pretty solidly here, -2.5, and might even go alternate spread. Say they win by over a touchdown this game.
So I'm going to actually disagree with you, brother. I think that the Eagles are going to come out and take this game pretty much, excuse my French, by the balls. I think that after last week losing to Atlanta, they're gonna they're gonna come out hot and heavy. I know it's in New Orleans, and I know New Orleans is rolling hot, especially with a big win against Dallas. But I think, obviously, after week one, this was a prediction on my part that was entirely wrong with the whole shell shocking factor when they played Carolina first game, rolled them, and then played Dallas. I thought it was going to be a little bit different, but it wasn't. They rolled Dallas too. I don't think that in this case, third time's the charm. They're not a Boston team, so they don't have the leprechaun on their side. I think they do have some voodoo on their side, obviously, but I don't think it's enough to take down Philly, especially after Philly just lost that tough one at home against Atlanta. So I'm taking Philly +2.5.
I Man, I going coming into the season, I did not see myself ever picking the Saints really for too much besides the
Nor I,
kind of
brother.
gimme games. But I mean, you can't argue with the results as of late. They've looked good. I mean, Derek Carr, just a different human being this season. He's gone every single drive has been a score, and I mean, Dallas defense has looked pretty good before, until they played the Saints. And I don't know. I can't see the Eagles defense doing too much more. I think this will be a relatively close match. I think the Saints do kind of come back down to reality a little bit. I think Derek is here, but I think they got it in the bag here, especially at home. I'm going with the -2.5 spread for the Saints.
Beautiful, and that was my biggest concern after that game last week with the Cowboys is we're supposed to have a good defense. They literally didn't get one stop the whole entire game. Kind of concerning. But going on to the next, we're going to Pittsburgh Chargers visiting the Steelers, and they have this at a 1.5. Steelers being the favorites at home. And for me, I feel like that 1 point is the decider for this. These are kind of teams, when I look at them, both offenses are kind of finding the works, what's going to work, how do we get the ball downfield. Not something that's incredibly, you think about these teams are like, wow, they score a lot of points. And on the other side, and why I'm going to lean towards the home team here, is the defenses. Steelers always been known for their defense, holding opponents, especially this year still. Watt is an insane player. I think he has 2 sacks this game against Justin Herbert, too. And right now, Justin Herbert is just not the QB to go. I think he's QB 25 at this point, so he's down at the bottom of the list of QBs in the NFL. So this literally could be the point spread here. I'm gonna lean towards the Steelers, winning by 2, winning by a field goal. I'm gonna take a minus 1.5.
Mm, mm. It's a little interesting, and I think that you may be right here. I think being at home with a Steelers defense, it's a very scary thing to come up against no matter where they are in the standings, no matter how well you think you might be playing. Steelers, same thing with New England. They always have a great defense. And coming into their home turf, it's hard to score points against them. And I think that the Steelers are in a pretty sensitive spot in a sense where they're trying to figure out where their QB1 status lies. But after the first two games, I mean, they're sitting 2-0, right? They're sitting as the only undefeated team in the AFC North. Obviously, it's only 2 games, but the only other team with a win is the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you still have the Ravens and the Bengals without a win. So, being that they're getting a little bit more comfortable with Justin Fields, which I have a whole opinion about that and how the Bears didn't use him correctly, doesn't matter. I'm going to take the Steelers spread here as well. I think that they come out, and I don't think that the Chargers are going to be able to stop the mobile quarterback in Justin Fields, and I think that Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to come up pretty big.
Now, there's one key factor here for me with this game is actually on the Chargers, that rookie Joe Alt. These past two
Mm-hmm.
games, he's really locked it down. He's
Mm-hmm.
shown like how good he is as a rookie. He's shut down some really key guys. And now he'll probably be matched up against Watt here in this game. So that'll be really interesting to see. We'll see how well he holds up there against, I think right now, the best defender in the league right now. My candidate for defensive player of the year already. I mean, I know it's early, but Watt has just looked incredible as he always does. But we'll see how that works. But for me, I think I have to give the benefit of the doubt to the Steelers. I think they kind of clear this. I think they are just a little bit more better, well rounded. The Chargers, though, 2-0, that's a great start for them. Kind of excited to see what they got going on with their new coach there. But I think the Steelers take this. I'll take the -1.5 spread for the Steelers.
Beautiful, brother. You said -1.5 Steelers, right? Too. That's all.
I did say
We're
minus
all
one five Steelers.
okay. Yeah, we're
That is
all
a
in
clean sweep.
agreement there. So we've agreed on, let's see, 3 games so far, which is kind of cool. But I know we did that last week too, where we agreed on a bunch of games. We hit a bunch of those too, by the way. So if you're wanting to know which ones to bet on, look at those ones. Okay, so we're going to next game in Minnesota. We have the
Oh God.
Texans as the visiting team walking in, and this one is going to be
Oh
a
God.
sneaky one. Vikings coming off a pretty strong start considering everyone's expectations of them. I actually have them in the top 10 teams in my power rankings right now, which, I mean, they're just all around it. They're solid. They're looking good. Sir Samuel is slinging it. Justin Jefferson is on a another tier level of wide receivers as always. They're just looking like a good playing football team. That being said, the Texans are going to have the best record. I'm taking them -2.5 as the favorites in Minnesota. And these are the same thing as the last game. These are both 2-0 teams, and I just I just have the Texans edge them out, and I'm really high on them. I have them going pretty deep playoff run here. Texans too. They're just Super Bowl contenders is what I have it at. So I got them -2.5.
I am going to quickly agree. I think this one is actually a no-brainer for Houston. I think that they're going to come in and just slam Minnesota. It's no disrespect to Minnesota by any means, but if you look at the first 2 games that Minnesota played, I mean, they played a Giants franchise that's in shambles right now, and then a 49ers offense that is still working around not having Christian McCaffrey. And obviously Sam Darnold is throwing the ball well. Justin Jefferson is being Justin Jefferson, but later in the game, Justin Jefferson had a little bit of hindrance. Obviously, they have a little time to get over that. They're playing on Sunday. I just think that it's kind of a wake up call to play against the Houston Texans. Even at home, they have a very dynamic offense that you're going to have to stop. They let up, how many points was it against San Fran? 17. Um, 6 against the Giants. Granted, it was 2 field goals, but you're still letting up points against the Giants, and now you're facing a full fledged offense with no hindrance whatsoever. I think it's going to be a tough game, and I think that Houston's going to take it -2.5.
Yeah, Minnesota. I mean, at the beginning of the year, once again, this is a team that I never thought I would even get the light of day look at. That's I got Sam Darnold as quarterback, but once again, this year is already surprising me. Sam Darnold looks actually pretty solid. Vikings, the defense looks very solid. Just like other brothers said, a very well-rounded team. However, their opponent, Houston Texans, I also have them kind of my top dogs. I think I have them as number one. Um, so yeah, for me, I think it's pretty easy. Although you never know, maybe the Vikings surprise me again. However, this game for me right now, I'm taking the Texans spread at -2.5.
All right, head into the next. Going to Tennessee, we got the Packers visiting. Kind of surprising to me. I thought going into this game that the Packers were actually going to be the favorites. It's -3 for the Titans as the favorites right now at home in Tennessee. I actually have the Titans here. I'm going to take the spread for them. And just a lot of going away from Lambeau and starting quarterback injury Packers. And I think Titans can surprise, put up some points. And even though I was surprised they were the favorites, I was going to take them regardless. So just simply enough, taking a -3.
All right, so I'm actually going to disagree here with brother. I'm taking Green Bay at +3. I think that the Packers defense, yes, is lacking, but I don't think Tennessee's offense is the caliber to test and prove them wrong. I think Green Bay has a stronger team, even away from home, even without Jordan Love. I think that Green Bay is going to take this one actually pretty easily.
Yeah, so I'll agree with one of the brothers here. I think everyone doubted the Packers last week with Malik Willis coming in. No one knew what their offense was going to look like, but for me, they looked pretty solid. Uh, Tennessee Titans too. Will Levis just looks not great whatsoever. Um, I still don't have much hope for him. So for me, I think it's pretty easy. Green Bay, I think, takes this one, and I'm willing to hedge it and go full on money line for him.
Ooh, Caleb with the first money line of the week. Let's go. All right. Going to Indianapolis, we have the Colts and the Bears. We got a 1 point spread here. This is basically a pick 'em, guys. So it's in Colts Stadium, and for me, it's these are both you gotta see it to believe it kind of offenses. Although I thought Anthony Richardson, not Andy, was gonna come in and light away, run all over the fields, because he was looking really promising at the end when he came back from his injury last year, and I just haven't seen it click. And same with the Bears, rookie Pains, Caleb Williams. This literally back and forth either way. I'm just gonna take the home team because they're the home team. I think the Colts pull out. They 0-2 their first one. They're in panic mode. They have to win a game. So I'm taking Colts at that -1.
I am also taking Colts -1, and I think they actually come out and kind of stomp on the Bears this week. I'm not gonna lie. I think that they owe it to their selves, honestly, to win this game pretty predominantly. Now, first week, like I said, they were within 2 points of winning against the Texans, and they had a chance there. They just didn't pull it off, which is fine. However, DeForest Buckner was put on IR. That is a huge hit to the Colts. DeForest Buckner is an absolute monster. I just don't think that with a struggling rookie quarterback, it's going to make as much of a difference. I think they come out and beat the Bears, and I'm taking the spread pretty easily here for the Colts.
Yeah, that's a big loss, especially for this game. I think he would have had an absolutely monstrous game against the Bears, seeing as how awful their O line is. I mean, Caleb Williams has no time. I almost kind of feel bad for him. He's trying to do what he did in college with all the running around, but it's just not working out for him. Colts, I never really had much faith in Anthony Richardson as much as other brother did, but he's not. I mean, he did have a good few plays in that first game, but we haven't seen much of that since. This game, though, I think is a little bit of a bounce back for him. I think the Colts do come out, and I don't think it's that close. So yeah, I will take the Colts -1 spread here.
All right. Andy Dalton, starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, heading to LA against the Raiders. Or not LA, Las Vegas, LV. Um, New starting quarterback. Is that the turnaround? Was Bryce Young the problem, or is it just everyone in general? For me, I think it's everyone in general. I think everyone plays a part to the unsuccessfulness of the past 2 years. Worst team in the league last year. Next to absolutely nothing has changed heading into this year. Still looking like the worst. And four, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going that far.
Oh
I'm
my
taking.
God.
Yeah, no.
I
Scared
don't
coach.
think, anything changes with the quarterback change. And Raiders off a strong win against the Ravens coming back home. I'm taking them -5.5.
Yeah, quite simply, I'm gonna agree with brother here. Now, brothers, I don't know if you remember me saying this, or Gardner Minshew. Okay,
Mintumania.
Gardner Minshew. He has been legit. He really has been very good. He is among the best of the quarterbacks this year so far. Obviously, there's a lot to go. I'm pretty high on him. He has seemingly found his stroke, and Carolina is just bad. So I'm taking the Raiders 100% spread.
Yeah, Minshew is a great backup quarterback, but he's been pretty good. Yeah, he's been pretty solid for the Raiders. Much better than Jimmy Garoppolo, I could say that. And Aiden O'Connell, I could also say that. Panthers, Bryce Young, and that whole situation is beyond me. I don't understand. They just, I don't know. I have no words. Uh, I don't. I definitely don't think it's Bryce Young's problem. Obviously, he has a lot to learn. He's still pretty much a rookie in my eyes. He hasn't learned much because he can't really learn much when their offense sucks so bad. But yeah, the Raiders I think are just a much more solid team than the Panthers, and I don't think a quarterback change is going to help them at all. So yeah, I'll take the Raiders as well, -5.5.
All right, we're heading to the next to Seattle. We got Dolphins coming in. Tua is placed on the IR, the best quarterback in the league, missing from
All
the
right, buddy.
Dolphins,
No, same.
unfortunately. And they're heading into Seattle. And once again, one of these teams that are looking pretty okay. They're doing good. They got the run game going. Geno's doing his thing. He's slinging. And I don't think, unfortunately, with the best quarterback in the league going out, that they'll be able to cover. I simply enough at home Seahawks -4.5.
I disagree. Even with Tua out, like brother said, you said right off
Oh,
the rip, the Dolphins have had the run game going. Now, Seattle's run defense is barely cutting what bottom 10, I guess you'd say, in the league this year, 142 yards per game. And I think that Miami is going to be able to capitalize on the fact that Seattle does not have the best run defense. They faced the Broncos and the Patriots. Now, don't get me wrong, Ramondre Stevenson is kind of a dog, right? But now you're working with Devon A. Chain, who is that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that Seattle's going to be able to stop the run game. And then, oh yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Miami also has Tyreek Hill. So just tell him to run straight, and you'll be fine.
Now, I see what you're saying with this, and I kind of had the same dilemma. I think Miami's going to come out looking a lot better than people think without Tua. Is that because Tua is just that unforgettable or that forgettable? Yeah, probably. But it's unbiased. Biases aside here. I think the Seahawks will just win. I think even with Tua out, uh, the Seahawks are just pretty solid here. You throw DK against Ramsey here, and let me say this also. I think Ramsey is one of the most overpaid guys. No disrespect to him, but he has not looked great in a couple of years now. So I think you put DK against him, and he's gonna have a field day. Their run game is gonna look good. Miami defense is kind of spotty, so I think this even just the Seahawks offense is enough for me to put them with the spread here at -4.5.
Beautiful. We're heading on to a divisional matchup. LA Rams at home. They are at a +7, a full touchdown spread. Both these teams highly affected by a lot of injuries on their offense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things, and where their production and CMC being on IR, Debo going out this week, Rams losing both the receivers and Kupp and Nakua, and O line injuries, and just the whole. This is going to be. I feel like the touchdown spread here is too much for a divisional game. I'm not taking a whoopsie daisy here. I do think the Rams are able to keep it close, pending all these injuries on both teams. I think the 49ers win, even by like 6 points, maybe even the 7, but I'm taking the +7 for the Rams. They keep it close in a divisional game.
I was going to bring up the same point here, and the fact that both teams are struggling with a lot of heavy hitters on their team being out. Like you said, Debo, Puka, even Cooper Kupp. But that's, if you think about it, that's a lot of weapons on offense for the LA Rams. That is a lot. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, which is the majority, if not all, of their pass game. Kyron Williams is a dog. Don't get me wrong. He has tendencies to show out, and he shows out pretty well. I just think that San Francisco's defense is going to be able to hold them in the game a lot harder than LA's will, and I think that the 49ers are going to be okay behind Ayuk and Brock Purdy and George Kittle. So I'm taking the Niners spread.
Well, yeah, the injuries are a big thing for sure. You guys pretty much covered all of that. Now, I think going back to the divisional point, as a divisional match, these guys obviously are familiar with each other. But with how many injuries are on the Rams, I think it'll be about a touchdown, and that kind of makes me afraid to go one or the other with the spread. So, if I was betting here, I would just go play it safe. Just go 49ers money line, just to hedge your bets here.
I like the pick. Honestly. And then we're going to my sleeper team in Arizona, Detroit Lions, coming in, and they are the favorites at -2.5. This for me is going to be the game to watch for the week. Cardinals, I think, are starting to prove themselves a little bit, and their offense going off. Marvin Harrison Jr. having a great, fantastic week this week. This is the game to watch for me. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. I do have the Lions pulling it out, though. I do have them at -2.5, and I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I had to go with the Lions, and yeah, -2.5 for the Lions.
I also have the Lions 2-5. I think Arizona has been hot. They have been very dynamic. They have been Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray. I don't think Detroit is one of those teams you really want to, I guess, put all your eggs in one basket against. I think that they're going to come up against this Detroit team who's tough, like real tough team. And granted, it's going to be a close game, but I think Brother's right. I think it's going to be Detroit pulling out ahead.
Yeah, this is going to be a really offensive game. I think these guys, both of them, have looked great. Obviously, with the whoopsie daisy last week, which we all called against the Lions, uh, yeah, they are going to be looking for a bounce back here. It is in Arizona. However, I do think the Lions win this -2.5. I'll take that spread. And there's one X factor here for me in this game, which really solidifies it, and that is Aiden Hutchinson. He is a monster, and I don't think he's going to allow Kyler Murray to scramble as much as he did, especially in that last game. So, yeah, I'll go with the Lions here.
That dude is a dog.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a beast.
Probably one of the best rising defender stars I've seen on the Lions. Yeah, Kyler's going to be contained that game for sure. It's going to be awesome to watch. Going to my Dallas Cowboys. How disappointing. How embarrassing. Coming into Jerry's world and Saints every possession of the games. I think it's like they had a 6 times, scored 6 touchdowns. Absolutely demolished in Jerry's world. In this against the Baltimore Ravens, I don't see their defense picking up anywhere to what they did last week with an 0-2 Ravens team desperate for a win at this point. You see teams that go 0-3 rarely make a playoff push to the playoffs at all. Ravens need a win. A loss at home to the Raiders somehow last week. I don't see any scenario where the Cowboys can even come close. I'm surprised it's even a 1-point spread here. I have the Ravens very easily in this game, beating the Cowboys in Jerry's world.
Quite simply, I do too. I would say I feel bad for you, brother. But at least you exit at the first round and not later than that, so your hopes are at least crushed early. However, I will say Baltimore needs a win. This is a must-win situation for Baltimore to get the gears turning, get them trending in the right direction. And I honestly think that they're going to use Derrick Henry more this game than they have. Derrick Henry has not been nearly as productive as I'm sure many people thought he was going to be coming into this year. So I think it's going to be a very tough game for Dallas to try to figure out how to stop Baltimore, and I think Baltimore's going to steamroll them. So I got Baltimore -1.5.
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys pretty disappointing on the defensive side there. It was tough. It was tough to watch, and I'm not the Cowboys fan here, so yeah. Lamar Jackson is notoriously good against NFC teams. It is home for the Dallas Cowboys, but then again, it was home last week too, so I can't even use that for in their defense. I think if they had a run game, I would consider it to be maybe close. They lock up that defense a little bit more, but I think the Ravens are just overall much better team. They need a win here, like they said, so I'll go with the Ravens -1.5.
Beautiful. We're going to Sunday Night Football. Chiefs take on the Falcons in Atlanta. Falcons squeaking out a 1-point win. Brother calling 2 out of 2 whoopsie daisies on this game. For me, Chiefs looking absolutely fantastic. And take it or not, the saved field goal with the last against the Bengals.
Oh my,
and
yeah.
a win's
Chiefs?
Yeah, win's a win.
Not stripes. Chiefs, not stripes.
I mean, it's a PI. They just got called the play before for illegal hands to the face, brought him back 10 yards, and So yeah, I mean, hey, credit where credit's due. They win the game after Burrowhead winning there so many times. It's Burrowhead's Joe Burrow's stadium there seems to win there all the time, but they get it done this time. And for my first
Oh
whoopsie daisy of the week, Falcons
my
money
God!
line taking the 2-0 from the Chiefs. Falcons are going at home. They're going
Wow.
to beat the Chiefs. Calling
Oh
it
my.
right now.
Okay, okay. You think after the first whoopsie daisy where they beat the Eagles on the road, they're coming back to back against the Chiefs, which is crazy. Because for my second whoopsie daisy,
Oh
or
my god.
second whoopsie daisy of the week, brothers, I am taking the Atlanta Falcons to win this game against the Chiefs
Oh,
at home. This will break the 2-0. Both teams will
Guys.
be 2-1 at the end of Sunday night.
Guys.
And Atlanta's gonna win this game.
are you going all in? Are you taking money line like me?
Oh, I'm taking money line.
Oh
I'm
my
taking money line.
Guys. I understand the Falcons just beat the Eagles in a pretty clutch match, but I mean, we're talking Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the first week these guys look like undisputed number one. Second week, it was a little rough, but it was against the Bengals. They always struggle there. But I mean, this is the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Not to sound like Chris Collinsworth or anything.
You kinda do.
But I mean, the Falcons, they still got a lot to figure out. And with that being said, I think the Falcons
gotta be
take it at home again. I think they do it. Oh my!
You gotta be
I just
kidding
I don't
me.
know, man. I had it locked. I'm telling you guys, I had it locked before you guys even
There's
said
no
anything.
way.
I swear. I'm going all in too. I'll take that Falcons money line. Are you kidding me?
Oh
We'll go
my
for the
god,
sweep
you gotta
again.
be kidding me. That would be absolutely insane if this one hits again, all three of us
I
on
hope
the
it does. I
same
pray that it does.
whoopsie daisy. That's insane.
Hey, you know you guys all doubted us last week with the Lions Tampa one, didn't you guys? I mean, you guys listening were like, "Oh, there's no way the Lions." Oh, yeah. Well, guess what happened? So, listen
Wow.
up, all right. This is why you
I mean,
listen to us.
really, you two doubted me last week with this same team against the Eagles. The same team. And
Yeah,
they're at home now against the Chiefs.
yeah, and yeah, it's
To be fair, they shouldn't have lost that game though. The
But
Eagles should not, but they
That's
did.
true.
Of course,
That's
yeah. Of
true.
course they did. Of course they did.
hey, like I called it, win's a win. You know, take them where
A
you get
win
them.
is a win.
You get the
Absolutely.
one in the win column there. But all right, that's it for Sunday. We're going to we have two Monday night games. First one in Buffalo. The Jags are visiting. Kind of
Let's go,
same
Bills.
thing. Struggling team. 0-2 start. And it's just like the same story of the Prince there for Jags. And you guys know who the Prince is, right? Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, obviously Gabe
Okay.
Davis.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah. So the struggling
Yes.
team and the tough losses. Bills looking like I think they're number 3 in my power rankings. Really, really solid team. They found their identity running the ball a lot. Their offense is moving. Defense looks good. And for my second whoopsie daisy of the week, I have the Jaguars desperation mode going to Buffalo. What? You guys are probably frowning behind your monitors right now. Jaguars winning the game. I'm going to take the hedge here, +5. But I got my second whoopsie daisy of the week.
I am actively wishing I could punch you right in the face. I'm telling you, like, for my third. No, I'm just kidding. It's not happening. I quite simply have the Bills -5 at home. Bills Mafia showing up strong. Josh Allen's left hand is a lot better. Josh Allen really didn't do much. He got a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of rest time because obviously every single game is kind of taxing, but he let James Cook carry him that game, and now he's got some time to figure out and play against a struggling Jacksonville team. And I think they're gonna come out and win by 50. So I'm obviously kidding. They will win. They will cover their spread -5.
I agree. Go Bills. Bills Mafia, baby. Bills to the Super Bowl. It's going to happen. They're going to get their first win. Uh, Josh Allen has not had to play hero ball. So, yeah, he's got a lot of juice in him. He's ready for this game. Last year they had to play against the Jags, but it was over in London. And I won't even talk about that game because Jags basically got two home games over there. They got to play the week before, and then they played the Bills the week after. They got to stay in London for a nice breezy 2 weeks. This time we're getting our revenge. Uh, if Josh Allen has to go hero ball mode, so be it. He's ready for it. So I'm going Buffalo Bills all the way, baby. -5 spread.
Guys, I'm sorry I had to do it to you,
No, you're not.
but
You're
I
not
had
sorry
to
at all.
do it
No,
to
you're
you.
not sorry. You're not sorry at all.
The whoopsie daisy. I got two going in this week. It's
If
it's
anybody is
desperation
listening to
mode.
this podcast and they think, "Oh, he's not sorry at all," you're absolutely right. He doesn't give a shit.
No, he does not care.
Yeah, I got both of our teams losing this week. But yeah, going to the last game, Bengals, Commanders. We're in Cincy. It's at a -7.5. That's a lot of points to cover. And I know Bengals are 0-2, kind of also in a must-win situation. I'm going to take the plus here for Commanders. I think the Bengals win it. But it's a lot of points on the spread there to take. And I think they give them a pretty solid game. But yeah, I think it's just a lot of points, and I'm just going to take the +7.5 there, but I have Bengals winning.
I saw Joe Burrow's face at the end of last game against the Chiefs, and I think they're going to win by 28. I think Joe Burrow is done with all the BS. I think he needs a win. I think he's hungry for a win. I will say the only hindrance that I can see personally for Cincinnati is Jamar Chase. It's the only hindrance I see. Obviously, he had his little episode where he cost the Bengals some yards on unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever for whatever he said to the ref at that one point.
Yep.
And this is what we've been saying. It's the whole contract dispute bullcrap that everybody wanted to go through just for more money. It cost your team. They lost a game that they probably should have won. And in the end, it is making Joe Burrow very hungry. Him and his bleach blonde hair. And he's going to win this game. He's going to cover the spread.
Yeah, this is a Bengals game at home. They got a big fire underneath them, as we saw at the end of that Kansas City game. I think they're gonna come out and beat up a bad Washington Commanders defense. However, I mean, Jaden Daniels, like I said, he's looking like #1 QB that came out of that rookie class last year. He's looking good. Do I think that they have enough to beat the Bengals? No, absolutely not. I think the Bengals come out swinging. I think they come out swinging hard. I think they pretty easily cover the spread, -7.5. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take that.
Beautiful, and that'll conclude Week 3 NFL Pick'ems. Watch out for those whoopsie daisies. That's really exciting stuff right there, guys. All right, let's head on to the fantasy portion. We're gonna go through your must starts on the bench, your must sits for the week, and let's go over for like a top high performer lookout that you guys think are gonna outperform this week. For me, I have my 3 listed. I'll go through them really quickly. Must start if you have them on your team. Throw them in the lineup. Wide receiver 2 at a flex spot this week. Rashid Shaheed. And just what we were saying from the pick'ems here, Saints are on fire. They have the firepower, I think, behind a struggling Eagles defense. Slay's going to be on #1. He's going to be on Olave all day long. I think Rashid Shaheed stars in this game. He's going to pick you up a lot of points this week. Put him in your lineup. For my sits, I'm going to switch over. And this is going to be going over to the Colts offense. You have to sit Pittman Jr. for this game. You got to see it first. You got to see him get some points. Yes, he's the wide receiver one. I just don't see it. If you have better options in the receiver option, switch him out this game, sit him out, and I'm going to have a number 2 here, sit Jerome Ford as well. What we saw last week with the Browns is Deontay Foreman taking over. He had a lot of the carry shares. It almost seems like he was the starter for the game. So Foreman taking over that carry load. I think you sit out Ford. Maybe if you don't even have a Foreman in your league, I think a lot of leagues don't even have them in lineups. Pick them up off the waivers, throw them in. Is like a backup or something. I think Foreman's taken over the share there, unfortunately. High performer to watch out for me, is going to be Tony Pollard on the Titans. With the Spears, the injury, might get a little less workload this week. I think the Titans are going to run the ball a lot. I think Pollard is going to see the end zone this week. I think he's going to be a high-performing running back, maybe even top 5 for the week. If you have him, throw him in. But that's my fantasy outlook for the week. Start, sit, high performer, watch out. Here he comes, Tony Pollard for the week. Watch him up the board, scoring a lot of points for your team.
Very nice. I actually had a couple. I had a few sits, but I think I'm going to go with the one that's going to shock everybody the most. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you're ready for it. I'm sitting, if I had them, which I don't, unfortunately, I am sitting this week Marvin Harrison Jr.
Sheesh.
I'm sitting him this week. Like I said, I don't think Detroit is that team to mess with. I think Detroit is going to come out knowing that. I mean, you think about Dan Campbell and the way he operates his team. I mean, they fall down, they come back up and bite their knees off or whatever he said in that press conference. I don't think that they're going to allow this kid to do anything against them. I think that he's going to try to make a statement against this kid who's obviously blowing up the league with what he's been doing, and he's going to shut him down. I personally, I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. will not have a great week this week. So if I had him, I'm sitting him. It's just the athlete in me and the way I see things and how I would operate things. So sit Marvin Harrison Jr. this week. If I'm wrong, you can tweet me or comment on the TikTok or I don't know, try to find where I live. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. So
Yes, go yell at him.
yeah, go sit with a lawn chair in my front yard and just yell at me about how I costed your fantasy league. For my start, this one is kind of somewhat sort of obvious, but it's also like an absolute. If you have him, start him no matter what, is Devontae Adams against Carolina. Like I said earlier, this goes back and it's kind of a full circle, but Gardner Minshew has been legit. And they're playing a broken Carolina team, poverty franchise. I think that they are going to absolutely destroy this team, and I think Devontae Adams will have 2 touchdowns. So if you have him, start him. And the star performer of the week will be George Kittle. With a broken Niners team, with a running back that I'm pretty sure it's an undrafted for their goal line. They're kind of pushed like they just throw in for 3rd and 1s and stuff like that to get the first down. He's an undrafted dude. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But with a broken team and really the only receiver that you have that's notable is Ayuk, it's going to be tough for them to generate offense through him. So I think George Kittle is going to take the brunt of a lot of offense this week, and he's going to be your star performer.
Actually, I like that pick a lot.
Yeah. For me, let's start off with a couple of sits here. First, for me, we got a surprising running back that has generated a lot of points for you guys. If you guys have started him, that good for you. Way to go. However, for me, this week, we're going to sit him just because of the team they're playing against. For me, J.K. Dobbins. He's been absolutely incredible. If you guys expected him to do good, great for you. I mean, he got put into a great team, great coaching staff for running back. So A lot of people did expect him to do good, but I don't know if anyone expected him to do as good as he has been doing. But like we said earlier, he's going against the Steelers. Their defense looks incredible. It's going to be kind of hard for them to generate offense. For me, it's going to be in that game a touchdown upside. Will he get it? Will he not? Who knows? Gus Edwards might take a goal line touch for him there. Who knows? For me, I'm going to sit him if I have two other solid running backs to put in place here for him. Otherwise, I'd kind of avoid him here. Another one I'm gonna sit Jalen Waddle. Obviously, Jalen Waddle, speed demon, matched up with Tyreek Hill, gonna look good. But Tua's injuries is gonna hit big. We got to see what that offense is gonna look like without Tua in there. If you want to take the risk, if you need to take the risk, go for it. Definitely a flex option at most. I wouldn't put him anywhere near the wide receiver 2 spot for you, but he's another sit for me. One we got to look out for, though, this week. One that I would definitely consider starting, Jameson Williams, Detroit Lions. He has been that vertical guy. He's been that touchdown guy. Hail Mary that ball down the field. He's there. Another speed demon, Jameson Williams. He's been racking up points for the Detroit Lions. I would definitely consider putting him in this against a team in a game where I think it is going to be a shootout. It's going to be close against the Cardinals. I'd put him in. Definitely a flex spot option. I got a sleeper too. This guy, he kind of went under the heads of everyone. Chris Godwin, he has been absolutely phenomenal. Baker Mayfield has been cooking him up. So if you have Chris Godwin, oh my God, if you have Chris Godwin, put him in. I'd start putting him in every single week right now. He has been on fire, even with with Mike Evans alongside him. He is still putting up amazing points for you. So definitely put him in if you got him. One person that I look to trade for. My final guy here. One
Rico
person I
Dowdle.
definitely look to trade for. No, not Rico Dowdle. Drake London. Kirk Cousins' first game did not look great. We weren't sure what the offense is going to look like. He's still getting used to it. Even in this post-game interview with Kirk Cousins against the Eagles, even with that amazing drive, he even said so himself. He's not 100%. He's still got to work on some stuff with this offense. And I think by the end of the season, Drake London is going to be a top guy for you. So I would definitely look to buy low here for Drake London while you can. So that's it for me.
Awesome. I love the picks. And also a note on the Jameson Williams. I don't know about you guys. He seems like he has a much more significant role on that offense from last year. It almost seems like he's ever around the field, dude. Mm-hmm. You see a pass go out and it's him. It's him there. But yeah, I like those picks. Let's go into a little bit of both of our favorite teams. We'll do a quick overall for the week of feelings and what you think going forward, future for the team this year, even going into next year. Let's talk about the Bills, even though I have them getting whoopsie-daisy this week. Do you guys think your team has the formula? This team you have going in this year, what we thought was losing a lot of offense and a lot of pieces on the offense, is this the year looking strong going in where they have the formula to become their first Super Bowl champion? How do you guys think the team is?
I don't know about you, brother, personally, but
I'm feeling 22.
Please don't.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. Sore subject.
No, I said the Bills, not the Chiefs. The Bills.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I am what they call a glutton for punishment. I think the Bills will make the Super Bowl. I think they will dethrone the Chiefs. I think they will win in the AFC Championship by 37 against the Chiefs. I think Taylor Swift will break up with Travis Kelce. I think she will quit her music career and go work at Walmart as a bagger.
Wow. You're
No,
going
but
all
really-
in then, basically, is what you're saying.
Realistically, it all boils down to the longevity of the players, the experience they have in a locker room come playoff season. At this point, and I would say personally, honestly, it just takes Josh Allen to run this team for us to be a Super Bowl contending team, and I'm not even kidding. The dude is legit. He finds a way to win games. He'll fight tooth and nail. What it takes to win a game every single time doesn't matter. So, as long as we have Josh Allen, we have a chance. And it might sound like I'm fanboying, I'm glazing as much as Caleb glazes Baker Mayfield, but
Daddy?
I believe it. I do believe. I think the Bills do have what it takes. It's gonna probably require a little bit of trade deadline acquisitions, which would be cool to see. Obviously, we can't give up too much, but we're in a weird spot where we might have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. But if it boils down to midseason and we're just trying to get value out of high performing players at that point in the season, we'll probably have to give up some for next year, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
So,
before we go to Caleb's thoughts too, I wanted to point out, I'm glad you said Josh Allen and commanding the team and running the team, because that was my exact thoughts as well. Very strong start. The questions almost immediately went off the table of the offense and in production with losing Diggs and all these guys. But that's the main thing. I've seen them as a running team. It's like the Patriots way back when, or where they were on their dynasty run. They just run the ball. Bill Belichick run all over the field. My question is, getting into like the do or dies when they always struggle against the Chiefs, and you have to throw the ball. They're down by 2 scores, and you have to start air assaulting. Is this like gonna go back to Josh Allen last year, where high risk, high reward, starts turning the ball over? He was the reason why they lose games. He was also the reason why they won games last year too. Does it fall back to that? Is that different? I haven't seen that yet. It seems like they have the formula, the new offensive coordinator, scoring a lot of points, clicking with the team. It's working great against week to week matchups. When they get down to it, they have a struggle. When they get down by 2 scores, is that going to be the make or breaker? Can he command the team? Is he going to be an overturned machine when he starts throwing it and he has to throw for 300 yards? That's what I have to see first. And I think, especially with Tua going out and the Dolphins probably going to take a hit for the month he's out. Jets not starting out as strong as folks thought. I think for now, what I see, you guys are probably the number one clear winners of the division for going into week 2. I know it's a long season, but does that all pan out? And the question is Josh the commander and Chiefs breaker
please
when he
don't.
gets
Ew,
down
ew,
to it?
ew, 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 ew.
God, so
Um,
gross.
yeah, I would like to comment. I don't think we give enough credit to Joe Brady. You mentioned him, offensive coordinator. He's new. Got rid of Ken Dorsey. Joe Brady came in the middle of the year last year, took over this offense, and I think he has done a fantastic job. And I don't think we give him enough credit. That he has, like you said, this has been a run forward offense. We've been running the ball. Josh Allen hasn't really had to pass that much, and that's why he's nowhere to be found really at the top of the those passing yard leaderboards right now. But I think that's a great thing. I think you want to preserve Josh Allen as much as you can. But like we kind of saw in the Arizona game, if he is in danger of losing, he will take that ball in his hands and he will jump over your entire defense. It does not matter. He will do that for the Bills. He is ready to go all the way. And I think with what we got rocking right now with our run game, why would we stop it now? I think it's gonna look good. Khalil Shakir looks fantastic. He has a big catch radius. He is um, a very reliable target. Keon Coleman is just getting warmed up, so we're gonna have to see how well he does towards the later half of the year. Um, and Curtis Samuel, he's a veteran in this league. He's gonna be, I think, just fine. So I think the Bills have a great shot. We're gonna have to see though, defensively wise, if we can keep all of our all of our key pieces, even though we're already missing most of them. But Sean McDermott, and we got a new defensive coordinator to help Sean out, so he doesn't have to call all the plays anymore. I think it's going to be good. I think we have been doing good with what we have. We'll obviously have to see with injuries come later in the season, but I think the Bills have a good shot this year.
Yeah,
All
brother. Like you
right.
said, we haven't seen a lot of kind of throw down the field, run and gun type play from Josh Allen. In the plays where he does kind of have to panic out of pocket, he just takes the ball himself, and he's a big dude and he knows how to run and carry the ball. So you don't see a lot of fumbles from him, but like you said, it's the oh my god, I gotta throw the ball 60 yards. Good luck, whoever's gonna catch it is gonna catch it type deal. Like I said, we haven't seen it. It's still early in the year. They're like you guys have said, a very run predominant offense. So we will see. It looks good so far, like you both have said. I have high hopes.
Yeah, I think looking like the division winners so far in my eyes, they look like the strongest team. Not even because I'm an outsider here. I'm not a Bills fan, so just looking from the outside in, they do as of week 2 look like the favorites to win. But let's head over to Dallas Cowboys, the best team in the NFL. Just kidding. We kind of fumbled at home after winning 16 straight regular season games in a row without a problem. Strong home defending team. 16 in a row. Saints come in and absolutely demolish that defense. For me, this is a big, huge red flag, question mark, concern. With Zimmerman running the defense now, Dan Quinn going over to the Commanders. We lost him as a coordinator. It looked promising week 1, but almost similarly to last year when we were the favorites against the Cardinals. We fumbled week 2 and lost against the Cardinals, surprisingly. Is this another situation where the Cowboys just, hey, we were sleeping this week? We didn't really put in the game plan, the planning, or is this the opposite where Saints are, wow, this team is the real deal. They're surprising. They picked apart. Yeah, they got a win against the Panthers by 100 million points, but now they go into Jerry's world and also drop another 40 bomb. Is this a Saints offense deal where they're looking like the real deal, or is this kind of like Cowboys, what supposedly is supposed to be a good defense, just cracking and fumbling, and they're not all what it makes to be? What are your thoughts first before I answer
So
these?
I think, honestly, playing a team like Carolina and beating up on them as hard as you did, scoring as many points as you did, it does a lot for your momentum. It does a lot for your offense. It does a lot for locker room vibes. It does a lot for your team. It really does. Going into a game where everybody thinks you're going to lose in Jerry's world, you already have that confidence to know that you're able to score the points. Derek Carr has been throwing the ball well. Emil Kamara has been running the ball well. Things were working against Carolina. You carry that into the next week. It just so happened, I think, to be the Dallas Cowboys that week. I realistically think it could have been any team in the league. It just so happened to be the Cowboys. And I think with the amount of activity that we saw in the offseason from the Cowboys, we weren't really expecting a whole lot of explosion in the beginning of the year. Maybe it's just a slow grind type of deal for them this year, as it doesn't really pan out well for them any year, so I'm not going to say that, but maybe it's just a slow grind thing for them, and New Orleans had all the momentum in the world to take that game into Dallas and just absolutely womp on the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will be fine. I don't think that they are going to do great this year. However, I think they'll be okay. I think it's just one of those week 2, like, wow, we just kind of got stood up and spanked in front of the whole nation type deals.
So will you agree there's only 2 teams viable to win the division? Do you see Eagles or Cowboys taking that over?
Well, realistically, it's hard to tell. The Eagles obviously lost that game against the Falcons. That was obviously a closer game than Dallas and New Orleans. I think both teams have struggles. I don't think Washington or the Giants are going to be front runners by any means in that division. But it's a close edge. I honestly do think it's a close edge between the Cowboys and Eagles this year because I had the Cowboys in front. I don't think the Eagles have the mojo that they had last year, and I think they're going to struggle as well. I don't think they're going to get blown out as hard as the Cowboys did. However, it's going to be close. I think the race is going to be a tight one.
Caleb, thoughts?
I still think the Eagles take that division. In general, I haven't really seen. Obviously, they lost last week, but it was against a good team. I think the Falcons are going to be a good team, but the, going back to the Cowboys here, they just seem to want to throw games. One game, they just decide, hey, I'm not going to show up. And I'm sorry to bring this one up again, but with the Bills, we all thought that was going to be a great game last year. Bills Cowboys, we went to it. It was a great time. We were like, oh, I just want a good game. It's going to be fun. Yeah, no, they just didn't show up. Granted, it was in Buffalo, but still, the Cowboys just seem to one game a year, 2 games a year, and in the playoffs. This is for regular season. We won't even count the playoffs. But they just decide I'm not going to show up this game. So I mean, the Saints really just took advantage of them. I don't think the Cowboys defense is that bad. I still have no idea what happened. It just I kind of blinked and Alvin Kamara had 4 touchdowns. I don't know. So I think riding into next week, the Saints are going to have a little bit of a reality check with the Eagles, but yeah, I don't know. I think the Cowboys are going to be fine though. I think they're going to kind of jump right back into it. Have a nice close game with the Ravens, but yeah, I don't know. They're going to have to definitely figure it out though, pretty shortly here, if they want to be competitive in this division.
For me, to conclude the topic,
Oh God, here we go.
I didn't want to get to
Hey
this point.
Jenny, make popcorn, please. Just kidding.
I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short because this episode is running a little long, so I'll keep it short for a viewer's sake. For me, Jerry coming into the off season, and he had this giant. We're going all in. We had the deal signed. We brought CD back. We got Dak back. We got the core back. For me, Jerry is all in, but I am all out. I do not believe in, especially what I saw, our new defense. They didn't even have a single stop the whole entire game. I think this is going to be a middle of the pack Dak team. And I'm not going to get filled with all this false hope. And even with a struggling division here, we'll go back in the fourth with the Eagles for sure. We could pull out a division win depending on how the Eagles bounce back. And they're going back and forth with losses. We'll see how they face up against the Saints this week. I think it's going to be a close race to the end of the division, but as many Cowboy fans have before, and I'm sure all of you know about it, we them boys were Super Bowl. We have a chance. We won the division. We're the best team looking. I am not going to fill myself with all that false hope that we have in the past. I think this is a team that looks pretty mid to me, to be honest, unless I see something differently, like against the Ravens here coming up. If we I got to see consecutive weeks of playoff teams because, as you know, last year we were the tomato can beaters of the century, beating up on all the non-playoff teams, and then any formidable opponent, we just folded and lost by 30. An example, the Bills game there, Caleb keeps liking to bring up and making fun of me about. But
It was
yeah,
fun.
unless I see that consistent, like winning and putting up not even a win, but just a good game against a playoff team, I think we're just mid this year. And even in my predictions, I have them missing the playoffs and 9-8, and pretty much same thing, having a mid average season this year. But that's my thoughts on it. I'm obviously hoping for the exact opposite. I hope we win the next 16 weeks in a row and go to the Super Bowl. I don't see it. I'm not going to see that hope, but I am praying that they do. But now we're going to go on to the last, everyone's favorite game of the week. It's okay. It's not okay. Today, this week's topic is going to be: is it okay to remove a whole entire team from the NFL? I'm not even going to beat around the bush on this. We're looking directly at the Panthers. Years in a row, they're struggling to fill the seats. I think getting a ticket to the game was less than $20 for
A
their
dollar
this last
80.
week. Yeah,
It
Chargers,
was
Panthers.
literally a dollar and
Seats
eighty
are
cents.
struggling to fill. Merch is struggling to fill. Back to back horrible, undisputed worst team in the league. You can't generate points. You're not getting views. Is it okay to just move on from a team, take them out, replace the team? What do you do? I mean, how do you get the folks to come in, or do you just outright say, hey, we're a 31 team league now? What do you guys think? Is it okay or not okay to remove the Panthers from the league?
I think this is a hilarious topic, and I actually love the topic. It reminds me of when I was big into soccer. Uh, for our non-American viewers, football. When a team in, say, the Premier League was relegated, which means they get kicked out of the Premier League, and whoever won whatever league was lower than them, they got called up to the Premier League. That's a fantastic idea. The only issue being there's nothing really below the NFL besides maybe the XFL where players get drafted from. But I think with the differential of rules from each league, it's hard to be like, yeah, let's just call up this entire team and have them now play in the NFL. I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I think the only way around it would be an expansion or, say, Carolina selling their team to a new location and basically forfeiting your rights as a football team and becoming a brand new team and doing an expansion draft off that one team. Obviously, that's not ideal for owners, managers, and hardcore fans and stuff like that. But I love I love the idea because Carolina, dude. Oh my god, it's horrendous. It's really bad. It's depressing to look at. It's depressing to hear about. Every single week, week in and week out, it's just a drag, and it's you knew it was gonna come. You knew their loss was gonna happen. I all in all think it is okay to kick a team out of the NFL and send them to all be popcorn vendors. I'm good with it.
It's actually hilarious hearing you say that out loud. Caleb, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's yeah, the Panthers, if not, they just aren't have been good for the past few years, and realistically, it is all up to Roger Goodell in the NFL, whatever they want to do. For me, you got to think about the players. I mean, what would happen with them? Where are they going if you just remove the team? Do they just, like you said, just get rid of them all, put them all on free agency, make them popcorn vendors? Um, I don't know. Maybe, but honestly, yeah, screw it. Let's kick the Panthers off. Let's get rid of them. Let's get I. Although I do think we do have to replace it. So I mean, one of these big cities that wants to come and claim a team, I think that's a great idea. I mean, there's plenty of cities out here, and hey, I mean, we've been going all across the globe. Maybe we can get a team from the UK. Well, who
Oh my
knows? Maybe we could start expanding that way. So let's get rid of the Panthers, and let's get a London team up in here so we can beat on some Brits.
show them what real
That's
football
that's
is.
my hardcore, cold-blooded American take right there.
I like how both of you guys are just like, yeah, get them out of here. It's like perfectly okay. Yeah, for me, I'm actually gonna go the other way. I think although it is kind of, it's almost like at this point like losing money for the league, because no one wants to watch a game like that. It's all the balancing and the stuff that has to go to player contracts, um, just the balancing of the divisions, schedules, all that. I think that all has to play. I think it has to be a 32 team league. the only way it would be okay is if they do a full replacement like that, like do some kind of like
Yeah, like I said.
equalizing draft or something like that. But then that gets into way too deep into it. I think if you just suck, you suck. 0-17 Lions, let it happen. You make history with that too, not winning a single game all year. The Panthers, hey, I mean, we could witness it again. We could witness again for sure, but I don't think just saying, all right, yeah, this is the worst thing we've seen, cut them out. You got to give time to come back, because now look at the Lions as well. They were the 0-17 laughing stock of the league, and now they're one of the S tiers up there, Super Bowl contenders, favorites of the league kind of deal.
I would say that they could be in the right direction. However, I think I just read something saying that Cam Newton started workouts for the Panthers. So I think they're headed in the entirely wrong direction, actually. So we might see
awesome
some bad things come out of there.
That would be awesome to see.
What if he just steps up and becomes the league's MVP in like half a year?
That'd be crazy.
No.
Can he actually play?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not?
Anybody as an owner, you can literally sign anybody if they're a free agent. They're literally
put me in there. Give me a contract.
That'd be very interesting.
Can walk up to me tomorrow on the street and be like, "Hey, do you want to play NFL football?" I could be like, "Yeah," and be like, "Okay, here's a contract."
That'd be very interesting to see. But all right, we're gonna end this week's podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Head over to our X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be posting It's Okay, It's Not Okay. Vote, let us know, comment on what you think, on if we should remove the Panthers or not. Polls away. We'll see. We'll see which one wins.
Let's clarify. We have no power to remove them. It's just an opinion.
Yes.
We will not.
That's a good thing to clarify.
We report directly to Roger Goodell. We will remove them if you say yes.
If the votes are under yes, we're removing the Panthers. But yeah, follow us at everything at the Fastcast, our TikTok, Twitter, and the YouTube every Thursday morning, 8 a.m. We will see you next week after Week 3 is concluded, and we'll start your Week 4 of the NFL Thursday, 8 a.m. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.